In 2016, it was Martha's Vineyard that took down the defending state champions in the first round for the first time since 2012. In 2017, it was Sandwich stunning the TVL champs in a double overtime upset victory that sent them packing in the first round once again. But today, the Norton Lancers are looking to start another deep tournament run as they take on the Dover-Sherborn Raiders in the first round of the MIAA D3 South Tournament. Hello, folks. I'm Javic Blake. Welcome into the Ellison pre-match show here from Norton Field on the campus of Wheaton College as the Norton Lancers, making their 7th straight tournament appearance, take on a Raider team that's coming off a D3 South sectional finals appearance that happened just a year ago. But first, let's take a look at the Norton Lancers coming in today at 13-2-2, seeded number 5 in the D3 South tournament. They've yet to lose at home this year between Norton High School and Norton Middle School, but it's a brand new site for the Lancers, a brand new place as well, and a brand new surface for them to play at home as well. Here at Wheaton College, the first time they've played here all year, it's also a turf field. The Lancers at home this season have been used to playing on grass, which has created a huge advantage. The Lancers, one of the only teams in Massachusetts with a grass field, have held a decided advantage over the last 3 to 4 years on a grass surface, which has contributed to multiple great runs at home. But today, a different surface, turf. As you see right below me, a turf field for the Lancers, the first time they'll be playing one at home all season long, and it could be something that neutralizes that potent Lancer attack, which has led the TVL in scoring this season with 45 goals. So it'll be something to look out for all throughout the match, the turf field, which could really decide whether this game goes towards the Lancers' way or towards Dover-Sherborn. The Lancers this season has been bookended by losses. They lost their first game of the season to Medway by way of a 4-0 loss, and they lost their last game of the season, shut out by Hopkinton by a 1-0 score. But in between that, 55 days in one of the toughest leagues in the MIAA without a loss. They went 13-0-2 over a 15-game streak with a point in every single game, which brought them to this 13-2-2 record. However, in their final game against Hopkinton, a 1-0 loss, they lost their chance at making a TVL title for the 3rd straight season, as that 1-0 loss gave way for Medway to win the TVL here in 2018. But one of the big things to look for today, and really a main neutralizing factor we've seen over the years across Norton High School sports, is they'll be playing Dover-Sherborn for the 3rd time this year. Now, yes, the Lancers have limited the DS attack, have not allowed a goal against them all season long. The Lancers will be facing this team for the 3rd time in Dover-Sherborn. As they say, the 3rd time's the charm. Well, they're hoping it's the charm. They have not won against the Lancers this year. One win, a 2-0 Lancer win towards the earlier of the season, and a 0-0 draw just a few weeks ago. But now looking at the Dover-Sherborn Raiders, coming into today at a 9-4-5 record, seeded number 12 in the MIAA D3 South Tournament. They're coming in currently in a cold streak. 1 win in their last 5 matches, 1 win, 2 losses, and 2 ties as well. They lost their last match against a very good Medfield team, 3-0 at home on senior night. And however, they're traveling to the away side today, and they're hoping it creates a hopefully great win for them and a huge upset to start off their tournament bid. The offense, however, unlike the Lancers, has been the issue this entire season. They've scored no goals in 4 of their last 5 matches, and they've only scored 30 goals this season in 18 games. But it all starts with John Muckstadt on that back end. That's paved the way for 14 games of their 18 with a point for the Dover-Sherborn Raiders. Muckstadt standing in at 6'4". One of the things he does well all season long is getting those header opportunities and clearing the way for the Dover-Sherborn attack to create rushes off of the defensive end. But let's take a look around the TVL matchups today in the D3 South Tournament. The number 3 ranked Holliston Panthers today take on the number 14 ranked Old Rochester Bulldogs at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time at Holliston High. The number 4 ranked and TVL champion Medway Mustangs will take on the number 13th ranked Bishop Stang at 6 o'clock at Medway High. When we come back, we'll have the starting lineups and the starting goalkeepers. Stay with us. This is the Ellison pre-match show from right here at Norton Field at Wheaton College as the Lancers will take on the Dover-Sherborn Raiders. Pitch to the outside, runs and trying to bust through the hole and gets it. That mower down, trying to bust through, touchdown.
He's the back of this one, tipped away. Beaker on the move. Good.
Goldstein, Gilbert right in the corner. This one in front, and there it goes, Justin Goldstein. folks, welcome inside our broadcast. I'm Javik Blake from the Diane Norton Athletic Field here in Wheaton College in Norton, Massachusetts. Let's get you the Lancers starting lineups for tonight. They'll be going with the normal 4-4-2 formation. DJ Eno and Andrew Kabinski will be at the top. Kyle Houlihan, Will O'Brien, Jack O'Brien, and Andrew Dalton in the midfield. And in the back, it'll be Nick Chu, Ben Pescott, Romario Harrison, and Brian Sullivan in net. Will be Derek Alexander. We're on the season, a 12-2-2 record with saving 85% of his shots. 99 of the 117 have been saved, with 6 shutouts as well. On the other side of things for the Dover-Sherborn Raiders, it'll be James Shue and George Benanini starting for them. Captain John Muckstad, who we highlighted in the pregame show, is really the key player the Lancers need to key in on throughout today. Ryan Collins, Brooke Walsh, and James Hackney starting as well. And it'll be Sal Brame, Rusty Seal, Elliot Conlo, and Augustine Perez-Verzini. And in goal is number 1, Hans Martin here. So the Lancers will be going right to left on your television screen. On the other side of things, it'll be Dover-Sherborn going left to right. The Lancers trying to advance past that first round for the first time since 2015. The last time they did, they won it all, making it all the way to the state finals. Dover-Sherborn, on the other hand, they're trying to break a current 3-game losing streak versus Norton in the playoffs for 3 straight years, 2015, 2014, and 2013. They were knocked out every single year by the Lancers, but it's always been a close game. You got the 2-1 score back in 2015 in round 2. Back in 2014, round 1, they lost to the Lancers. They lost 1-0. As we'll get ready to go here in the middle, it'll be Hans Martin here. And number 11, George Benanini for the Dover-Sherborn Raiders. So we'll get ready to kick this thing off from Wheaton College here in Norton, Massachusetts. The Lancers 2 up front will be Eno and Kabinski, the scoring duo, and it's really Eno who's done the scoring this season. 7 goals on the year, second in the team, but he's been scoreless in his last 4 matches, trying to find a goal today. The Lancers getting ready to go. The ref blows his whistle, and Benini sends this one back, and we're underway. A start time of 11:07 in the morning, an early morning game here from Wheaton College. As we'll get you the weather here for tonight. 50 degrees and bright and sunny, not a cloud in the sight. A beautiful day here for soccer on LSN. Minimal wind as well, 8 miles an hour. And that is all. That one's sent down towards the far corner. We'll go over the touchline with the first goal kick of the night coming from Derek Alexander. The Lancers try to come out early and score early, and when they do so, they usually lead to a victory. The Lancers 12-2-2 in the TVL Small this season. It'll be Sullivan sending this one on forward. Down towards midfielder Mario Harrison out there getting the start today instead of Andrew Dalton. We saw him really come alive against that Millis game as that one goes over the touchline, a throw in here. So we really saw him come alive against that in that Millis game on senior night, scoring 2 goals in quick succession. This one down towards Eno on the near side, trying to get around Muckstack, can't get it, but instead it's O'Brien. Sending this one over. It's Eno who has it, who lofts it on forward, with Dalton trying to get it, but it doesn't work. So we'll go the other way. It's Benanini sending this one back. And they'll send this one down towards the middle of the field, and a great play in the middle by Ben Pescott, sending that one out of danger. They tried to create a run with George Benanini. And we really saw him the first game the Lancers played against Dover-Sherborn earlier this year. A 2-0 win, but he could have found the equalizer in about the 66th minute as Alexander comes out of the 6-yard box to save that one. Back in earlier, it was Benini who had an opportunity, a great opportunity right inside the 6-yard box to tie it all up, but wasn't able to get it done. Ran over the ball, and Alexander was able to pick it up for the easy save as Dalton able to move this one towards the middle of the field, trying to create a run. It's off a one-touch pass. It's O'Brien. Plays this one on towards the box, right outside the reach of Dalton, who tries to cross it back over. But this one's sent out. And now a set piece for the Lancers. Edward Abuzet coming in for the throw. My apologies. It'll be a throw in from the far end. And here comes Edward Abuzet. 9 assists on the season, leading the team in his throwing abilities, well documented all season long. He'll throw it in from the far side, coming on for Mario Harrison. They'll add some height inside the 6. This one thrown in towards the box. Headed up by Dalton in front of the net. That one kicked away. And the Lancers will get a set piece on a corner. Lucas Bodkins coming inside the 6 and sending that one out over the touchline. It's Will O'Brien. He'll send this one towards the box. A diving header opportunity. And it was Edward Abuzet who had the opportunity, but he couldn't get it to work as this one's sent all the way down towards midfield. And it'll be Pescud trying to find that one, but now it's a rush the other way. The offensive attack for Dover-Sherborn coming alive now and inside the... It looked to be a chance inside the 18, but offside was called. Alexander having to come out off his line for there. But Benanini with two fantastic runs here in the early going. Only in the 4th minute, but already two fantastic opportunities. And that offensive attack penetrating the Lancer defense. Which was 3rd on the season in goals. 18 of them were allowed. Just above 1 on average per game, 1.05. But it's really been their scoring at home that's really been the game changer for the Lancers all season long. They're averaging 4 goals a game at home. 32 out of their 45 in the season has come in Norton, Massachusetts. This one's taken away as Hackney sends it downfield. Benanini puts this one up in the air. And a foul called. It was James Shue. Jumped up in the air trying to get it. Looks like he made contact with the face of Kyle Houlihan. 5th minute. Tied at 0. No shots yet for either team, but plenty of offensive opportunities. Defense really non-existent here in the early going. It's O'Brien sending this one back to Sullivan. Back to O'Brien on the midfield. And that midfield for the Lancers has really been their calling card all season long. A plethora of opportunities. This one sent downfield. It's Abuzet who's chasing after it. In his first playoff match of his career, as it goes over the line, now some subs coming in. It'll be Mario Harrison and Andrew Kabinski in for the Lancers. Dover-Sherborn making some substitutions as well. So O'Brien on the near side throwing that one. Goes over the touchline. And now it's Agustin Perez-Verzini getting the start today. A late substitution in the starting lineup. Looked like it was Gunn Caldegot who was going to start for the Raiders on that back end, but instead the last minute switch to Agustin Perez-Verzini. The junior as he's in here in the early going. It's Mugstadt controlling this one. That one will go over the touchline. We'll get a goal kick here early going from Hans Martin here in the 6th minute, tied at 0. And a packed house this afternoon here at Robert Adams Field. My apologies, folks. Here at Norton Field in Wheaton College. Lancer fans coming out in droves for this early morning start. An early start time, 11 a.m. The earliest game the Lancers have played all season long was his 3:30 starts, which is their normal start time all season long. So a little bit of a different wake-up routine for the Lancers today. A weekend match as well as this one sent up. Sticking out his leg was Will O'Brien trying to control it, but it was Mugstadt able to send that one out of play. It's O'Brien looking for someone, tries to find... Looked to try and find Will O'Brien, but it was Agustin Perez-Verzini who was able to clear that one out. And Sullivan down to O'Brien. Lots of plays been controlled this near side. Spencer Robbins getting in there for Dover-Sherborn. Harrison towards the middle to Houlihan. Sends this one downfield. Looked to find Kabinski, but it went by everybody. And this one will be picked up by here. Dover-Sherborn away from home this year, standing at a 3-3-2 record, but their last 4 matches, this one downfield, now a chance and an opportunity as James Hackney looks to cross this one on towards net, but now a corner. Deflected off the leg of Jack O'Brien. Dover-Sherborn away from home this season, 3-3-2, but in their last 4 away matches, they're only 1-2-1. And now a set piece on the near side corner for James Hackney. 8th minute, tied at 0. No chances yet for either team. Dover-Sherborn stacking the box here, sent on towards net, over the head of everybody. Ryan Sullivan tried to get a head on it for the Lancers. Was flanked by 2 Raiders as well, but it went over the head of everybody. But Dover-Sherborn able to keep it inside their zone, and now finally a clearance opportunity for the Lancers off the foot of Ben Pescott. A foul on Will O'Brien. Colliding there with Russell Seal of Dover-Sherborn, and now a free kick for Muckstadt. In the 9th minute, tied at 0. Teams even on corners at 1 apiece, but no shots coming from it as we're still tied 0-0 on shots. This one in front of the net, and they're going to call offside. George Benanani looked to have headed it in, but the ref raising his arm on the near side, keeps this one knotted at 0, and a fantastic early opportunity for Dover-Sherborn. A team that isn't prone to scoring a lot of goals this season, only scoring 30 in their 18 matches, good for 4th out of the 16 TVL small. And Diaz controls it early. Looking to find that opening goal is O'Brien, able to push that one over the touchline, and now another opportunity and another corner for Dover-Sherborn. The Raiders trying to find their first goal after an offside, negated a goal just a minute ago. Here in the 10th minute, sends this one on towards the box. Muckstadt over his head, and he'll play it straight up in the air. And Alexander hit on the play, and now he's going to be down. A little slow to get up. And that foul will called. Try to grab the ball off with 2 Raiders right next to him. Just got a little bit caught up in the action with 2 heads going after it. And now Alexander trying to grab the ball right in the middle of it. The stands on the far end continuing to be packed with Lancer faithful. Wheaton College, no more than a minute drive from Robert Adams Field in Norton High School, the home of the Lancers. This one sent down to the near side to Eno. Tries to play it, goes over the touchline. And Eno tried to go with a quick restart. The ref points in the other direction. Dover-Sherborn will get the throw. This one sent on forward to Shue. Gets it around Houlihan and sends it down to Sullivan, who's trying to play it out with a clearance opportunity. And he won't be able to get it. They send it right to the foot of Brame, who sends it straight up in the air and over the net. Alexander will have a goal kick here in the 11th minute. Tied at 0. No shots yet for either team, but plenty of opportunities. Dover-Sherborn back in the 8th minute. They had a goal opportunity. They weren't able to convert. An offside negated it off of a great back header. This one played towards the middle to Harrison. Tries to find somebody, but it's off the foot to Benanini, whose name we've said a whole lot. It looks like coming into tonight, it would really be John Muckstadt doing most of the work on that back end. And really a name we'd say throughout the broadcast, but early on it's been this junior, George Benanini, whose name we've said again and again, trying to create those opportunities for Dover-Sherborn. This one played up towards the middle. It's Walsh looking for somebody inside the 18, but it's kicked out by Chew. Benanini has it on the far side. Looking to cross it in towards the net. Has bodies in front, but this one easily kicked away by Andrew Dalton. Derek Alexander will grab that one. On the second shot of the night for Dover-Sherborn. Both of them so far have been on target. And he saved both of them. 0-0 the score here in the 13th minute. Houlihan tried to move it up on a move, but it's Perez able to take that one away. Some fancy dribbling there from Houlihan. Tried to get up, but Perez Verzini recognizing it and sending it away. This one in front, lots of bodies. It's Perzini. Looks to turn and fire, but it's taken away by the Lancers. And they're really... And the Lancers so far early on, not looking like the team that defeated Dover-Sherborn by a 2-0 score earlier in the season. They ended Dover-Sherborn's long point streak, and they haven't lost since the South Sectional Finals last year. They hadn't lost in the regular season before that game, before October 10th of 2017, but the Lancers are able to end that streak. That one goes over the line, and it'll be a Lancer throw. Christopher Much coming on for Dover-Sherborn, and for the Lancers, it'll be Edward Abuzed for a throw. Right in front of the Lancer faithful on the far side. The Lancers looking for some opportunities. It's been for at least the past 5 minutes, Dover-Sherborn really controlling everything. And this one thrown into O'Brien, sent on towards net, looking for a header opportunity in front. It's Eno with a great opportunity, but it fell at his feet in the wrong direction, had to turn him around. And the Lancers are unable to get a shot. A fantastic opportunity right inside the 18 for the Lancers, but they weren't able to convert. DiGino just got a little bit turned around. Fantastic match so far in the interleague going. This one sent back to Houlihan, who plays this one forward. It's O'Brien sending it to Kabinski. Looking to play it on forward, plays it over to Abuzet. Back to O'Brien. Sends it on the far side to Kabinski. Looking to get entered inside the 18, or at least pass it inside there. And he can't get around Muckstadt. And this one will go over the goal line. John Muckstadt at 6'4", against the smaller Andrew Kabinski. Kabinski tried to get around it. And very much like a hockey player there was Muckstadt with a hip check. Just able to play off his line to send this one over the touchline as Muckstadt sends that one's beyond midfield to Sullivan, who heads it forward for the Lancers. Zeno getting that one back for the Lancers. Trying to play this one forward. Now it's a dash for the ball. Muckstadt is able to get that one and send it wide, but now an opportunity for the Lancers. And for most teams in high school soccer especially, a throw in from the near side from that far out usually isn't a big threat, but with the Lancers and Edward Abuzed, who has 9 assists on the season and a plethora of those off of throw-ins, it's a big opportunity. This one sent in on towards net. In front, it's in! Will O'Brien, scoring his team-leading 9th goal of the season, puts the Lancers up 1-0. And they're going to give the goal to Edward Abuzed. Said it went off a Dover-Sherborn player, so the nearest player to it was Edward Abuzed with his 2nd goal of the season and his 11th point. The Lancers are up 1-0. So the Lancers, in their very first shot of the night, goes in the back of their own net. Goes in the back of the Dover-Sherborn net, and the Lancers take an early 1-0 advantage. So the refs technically calling it an own goal, but giving it to Edward Abuzed, who did it off the throw. And playing in his first match in the playoffs. And that one a foul called against the Lancers, and now a free kick. But if you remember, Edward Abuzed last year kept out of the Lancers match against Sandwich on account of a knee injury, but he's in today and making a mark here early in the 16th minute, scoring his first career playoff goal to put the Lancers up 1-0. But it'll be Dover-Sherborn trying to find the equalizer, and it's Joe Benanini sending this one on towards net. In front, in a diving opportunity, James Shue was not able to connect with it. In the 17th minute, the Lancers lead 1-0 on their 46th goal of the season. And Dover-Sherborn allowing only their 18th. They've allowed less than a goal a match. But scoring's been an issue these last few matches. No goals in 4 of their last 5 games, but the scoring's just been 4-4. So a huge breakthrough for the Lancers here in the 16th minute. Abuzed throws this one in as it goes over the line, sent downfield long, trying to get it to Eno. Tied up with Muckstadt. Just outside the 18. And he'll kick it out, but yet another opportunity. And it'll be the man with the only goal of the night. Just 2 minutes ago, Edward Abuzed on the far side. Getting ready to throw this one in. Sends this one forward inside the 6. It's in front. Muckstadt with an opportunity to clear it out, and he takes it. Pescott sending this one forward. It's George Benanini. With some great defense by Abuzet. You had number 7, James Shue, looking for a run and a fantastic opportunity he would have had if Benini would have been able to got off his man. As Edward Abuzet with some good defense. This one sent over to the middle of the field to Robbins, who plays it on the near side to Lucas Bodkins. Again, the Lancers looking for their first playoff win since the 2015 state championship. Game in which they won in penalty kicks. They're really trying to get their monkey off their back. This class that's been not winning in the playoffs. They've done it in the regular season, but so far these last 2 years, heartbreak, and both coming with late goals. In 2017, it was against Sandwich in double overtime, a 2-1 loss, and really something that'll stick with the hearts of Lancer fans really until the end of time, is the face of Ian Pereira just in shock and devastation after the goal by Sandwich to send them on to the second round of the MIA tournament. In 2016, it was more of the same. They lost after tying the game in the 67th minute. They lost 2-1. They tied it back up in the 67th minute, had all the momentum, and they gave it right back in the final 10 minutes of the match. As it was the Martha's Vineyarders walking away with a 2-1 victory there. So lots at stake for the Lancers. And this senior class really wants to prove that, yes, they can win in the playoffs. And they're trying to start it here today against a very good Dover-Sherborn team who we've seen create countless opportunities here in the early going. It's Robbins playing this one forward, but it's Abuzet taking that one away. Caldecott grabbing that one on the far side. And it will be a throw. Shots here in the early going. 2-0 Dover, 2-1 in favor of Dover-Sherborn, and the shots on target, all of them have been on target so far. As the 2-1 shots in favor on target in favor of Dover-Sherborn. This one goes over the touchline and will be a throw-in by Edward Abuzet. 1-0 here, halfway through the first half. In the 20th minute, a lone goal scored so far is by Edward Abuzet in the 16th minute. But Dover-Sherborn had their greatest opportunity in the 8th minute. A header went right past the fingertips of Derek Alexander and into the back of the net. But it was called offsides as George Benanini, whose name we've said countless times here in the early going, was just beyond the last defender of the Lancers. This one sent forward to Robbins. Taken away and pickpocketed. Here comes Jack O'Brien. The Lancers trying to create a rush. Over to Will O'Brien. Sends it to Dalton. Dalton tripped up on the play and falls to the turf. And he's holding his ankle as Dover-Sherborn takes this the other way. Sends this one downfield. It's Benanini sending this one, crossing it behind the net. And at the 21st minute, we'll get a goal kick from Derek Alexander. Dalton fell to the turf. Looked like he might have gotten tripped up. Fell to the turf for just a minute, holding his ankle. But now is up. And Edward Abuzet will come off for Mario Harrison. This one sent on towards midfield by Sullivan, headed back by Dalton. The Lancers will try to create a rush here. They got to get by Muckstadt if they want to do it. Muckstadt sends it the other way for Dover-Sherborn. It's Liam Walsh sending this one downfield. But it's Derek Alexander out to grab this one. Ben Pescott controls this for the Lancers, plays it back to Brian Sullivan. Has Houlihan on the near side, but instead plays it forward off the legs of Andrew Dalton. And it's Agustin Perez-Verzini. Inside the 18, Dover-Sherborn has it, but they're fighting with some Lancers. They play this one outside the 18. Much heads this one on towards net. But it's in front. The Lancers try and keep it out with a fantastic opportunity inside the box once again for Dover-Sherborn. But they can't get a shot off as the Lancers able to clear it out. It's O'Brien. Sending this forward for the Lancers, trying to find Romario Harrison. Scored 2 goals in the season. All of them have come in a game 2 games ago against Millis, and a great opportunity and a crossing opportunity for the Lancers. Tried to find Dalton, but it was Hans Martin here coming off his line and picking that one up for Dover-Sherborn to keep this game at 1-0. Here in the 23rd minute, this one sent out wide and deep and out of play. You hear Lancer head coach Eric Green shouting on the sideline. His 13th season with the Lancers. Has 160 wins with the program. I just want to throw in on the near side by Augustine Perez-Verzini. And it's really Eric Green who's been credited with bringing this team from what was once a mediocre program in the early 2000s into what is now a powerhouse, expected to not only make the playoffs, but win in the playoffs year in and year out. The 2017 Taunton Gazette Boys Soccer Coach of the Year and won the Coach of the Year for the entire, all of Massachusetts in 2015 for the Boston Globe. So a fantastic man at the helm for the Lancers. And not just evidenced by his regular season record, but by his playoff accolades as well. A team that before his tenure had won one TVL championship back in 2001. But since then, they've won now 2 TVL championships in the last 3 years. With a plethora of great players coming through for the Lancers. And the new crop of play for the Lancers this year, which was really an interesting crop. They lost a lot of talent last year, but they were able to find that in a team effort throughout the season, really coming from everybody, whether it's Houlihan, the O'Briens, Dalton, Chu, Pescott, Harrison, Sullivan, Eno, Kabinski, or even Abuzed. The Lancers have been able, the entire season, all season long, to create opportunities, and it's not just coming from one player or one person. Sullivan, the captain of the Lancers, here in the 25th minute, looking to send this one forward from just beyond midfield. Puts this one on towards net, headed out and away, and over the touchline. That one from Russell Seal, and the Lancers will have a corner opportunity. Their second of the night, weren't able to convert in the first one.
Hey, accountable, White, be accountable, let's go.
And it'll be Will O'Brien to send this one on. From the near side corner. Puts this one over everybody's head inside the 6, and it was Andrew Dalton flying shoulders and heads above almost every Dover-Sherborn player to try and get that one, but that one's sent out by Dover-Sherborn, and it'll be a Lancer corner on the far side now. So we O'Brien to do the honors. With Eno standing right next to the ball. It's O'Brien sending this one on forward towards net, kicked out, and Dover-Sherborn to control it. A far side berm now packed with the Lancer faithful as Harrison trying to play this inside the box. Instead it's Dalton with Bennett as it's Mugstadt to send that one over the line. It'll be yet another Lancer corner. Now they're fourth. They're 0 for 3 on corner opportunities so far. But the bend but don't break defense of Dover-Sherborn here in the early going is working. Only one goal out, but they're trying to find a goal to equalize, and it starts right here with getting a clearance on this corner. Lancers send this one on towards net. Looking to find somebody. Dalton. My apologies, it was DJ Eno. Looking for a bicycle kick goal, a highlight reel one it would have been. But just hitting off a Dover-Sherborn defender before it can get in front of the net. It's Benanini looking to play this one forward. Taken away by Romario Harrison. The senior for the Lancers dribbling through 4 different Dover-Sherborn defenders to send this one out to Brian Sullivan. So O'Brien to Chu. One touch pass up to Eno. Sends this one down. O'Brien trying to chase after it, but it's over the touch line. And a throw in now for Dover-Sherborn. Some substitutions coming on for him. It's Sal Brame and James Shue. coming in for Christopher Much. Dover-Sherborn here in the 28th of 40 minutes in the first half. Trying to find an equalizer as the Lancers lead this one 1-0 here in the early going. That goal scored by Edward Abuzet off a throw-in from the near side. An own goal for Dover-Sherborn, but it was credited to Edward Abuzet, his second goal of the season and 11th point. As Benanani throws this one in off a quick restart inside the box. Headed up and right into the hands of Derek Alexander, who, to say he's been on his game his last few games would be an understatement. His last 8 games, he's saved 47 of 52 shots, and he's allowed 1 or fewer goals in 11 of his last 13 starts in net, which is just remarkable for the junior. As coming way off his line is Alexander to play this one up. It's O'Brien having it in the near side. Jack O'Brien will play this. Looking for someone to pass it to, but instead he'll try and feed it outside the 18. He does. Looking for a crossing opportunity. Finds it in front, but sends it right into the chest of Hans Martin here. But a fantastic offensive rush by the Lancers, able to penetrate that defensive Dover-Sherborn and able to really take Muckstadt out of the picture. As it'll be Benanani giving that one away to the Lancers. Kabinski has it right around midfield here in the 29th minute. The Lancers lead this one 1-0. This one's sent downfield. But it's Russell Seal able to get Will O'Brien off the ball and clear it out over the touchline. But here comes Edward Abuzet and the Lancer throwing abilities. So we put on full display here. Andrew Kabinski coming off, making way for Edward Abuzet on the throw from the near side. The Lancers leading 1-0. Their lone goal coming off a throw, and this one on towards net, headed up. And headed out, and a foul will called on the Lancers.
That's the same exact play that happened last time. He didn't call and we're down 1-0. That's why it's garbage. Same play. Here we go, White. Neither did he. Same thing you called down here. Same damn thing. We're down 1-0 because you called it.
It's John Muckstadt taking the kick here. The captain, a low kick. This one taken at midfield by Harrison. Try to play it to Dalton, who gets it up to O'Brien, who has an opportunity outside the 18. Looking to find his way in, but it's Muckstadt clearing that one out into the Lancer stands on the far side. As Mario Harrison coming out, and it's Andrew Kabinski to come in. So Lancer throw it on the far side. It'll be Edward Abuzet to do the honors. Here in the 31st minute, the Lancers leading 1-0. Lancers converted on one of their 3 throw-ins on the far side. Abuzet sends this one towards the box, but it finds it over Sherborn defender. Looks to play this one straight up in the air, looking to find a heading opportunity. It's O'Brien. Dalton jumping over everybody to get it in front. That one sent on towards the corner. It's Hans Martin here there to save it. A fantastic opportunity for the Lancers. 2 shots on the rush, and the throw-in abilities on that far side and near side for the Lancers deep in their attacking zone have worked great dividends here in the early going. But now a counterattack. Here comes Dover-Sherborn here in the 32nd minute, looking to tie it up with an equalizer before the half. Sends this one on towards the box, but it's kicked out by Kyle Houlihan. It's Dalton controlling this one at midfield. It's O'Brien now. Looking to send this one up. Plays it back towards midfield. Sends it downfield. In the wide open, it'll be here versus Dalton, and they'll collide. And Dalton is down. And a collision inside the 18. Here in the 32nd minute, and a hard collision between Andrew Dalton and Hans Martin here in net. It was here chasing after it, and it was Dalton doing the same for the Lancers. It would have been. He was trying to create a fantastic opportunity created from that midfield touch for the Lancers. But he's down just inside the 18, attended to by Norton trainer Michelle Norman. And Andrew Dalton this season, 4 goals and no assists for 4 points, was trying to find his 5th of the year. And he's now up, walking off the field. We saw him clutching his ankle about 15 or so minutes ago. It'll be Eric Green walking off with him. He was clutching his ankle and now running smack into Hans Martin here, just inside the 18. So we'll get the restart here. It'll be John Muckstadt to kick this one out, the senior, just inside the 18. Lancers with their 4-4-2 formation. They're dropping Houlihan to the back line. It'll be Houlihan, Sullivan, Chu, and Pescott here. And the Lancer attack trying to not concede that equalizer before the half. They would love to go into the half leading 1-0. They'll even love to go into the half up 2-0 as they'll try to find a goal here in the late stages of the first half. 32nd minute. The Lancers leading this one 1-0 thanks to a goal by Edward Abuzin back in the 16th minute off a throw-in deep in the Lancers attacking zone on the near side. This one blocked by the leg of Brian Sullivan. That one echoing throughout Norton Field as now a counterattack for the Lancers. It's Eno to O'Brien. They'll look to play it forward to Abuzin. It's taken out by Muckstadt. Harrison gets around a defender. Plays it up to Abuzin. The Lancers looking to continue their shutout streak against the Dover-Sherborn Raiders. Right now it stands at 112 minutes this season. They have not allowed a goal against him all season long as this one sent in towards net. It's Eno with a chance right out in front. Looks to play it back, but it just goes off his foot and in the hands of Hans Martin here. The Lancers' 7th shot of the night, 4th on target, and just a fantastic opportunity sent in from right around midfield. Found TJ Eno wide open inside the 18. But just went off the outside of his foot. And Hans Martin here, able to grab it to keep this at 1-0. The Lancers, plenty of opportunities here in the later parts of the first half. There was a huge 5-minute span here in the early going where Dover-Sherborn looked like they controlled all the momentum, but it's completely turned around as this one sent inside the 18, headed on in front and out of play over the touchline. And here with 34 minutes left, we'll get a stoppage of the clock. Here in the 34th minute, the Lancers leading 1-0, so we'll take this opportunity to look around in the game. The Lancers and Dover-Sherborn, whoever wins this matchup, will be playing next. It'll be the number 4 seeded Medway Mustangs or the number 13 seeded Bishop Stang, as they'll be facing off tonight at 6 o'clock in Medway. This one sent forward by Brian Sullivan. Played by Chu. Sent down deep as this one taken away by Muckstadt. Lancers had plenty of opportunities. It's opposite inside the 18 here. Diving to save that one. My goodness. Hans Martin here off of a blunder just inside his own 18. Gave it right away to Edward Abuzin, but Abuzin just put it a bit too much near the goal, and Hans Martin here is able to dive back across and jump on top of it to keep this at 1-0, and it's really luck which is keeping Dover-Sherborn at a 1-0 game. We've seen countless times with quite a few blunders here in the late going where a ball just off the foot of DJ Eno wasn't able to get a great touch on as this one headed towards the outside. The shot from outside the 18. A rocket of a shot, but just over the goal line. And we'll get a goal kick here in the 36th minute. Again, a fantastic opportunity from Gigino not long ago, and a fantastic opportunity just a moment ago from Edwards Abizet, who was trying to find his second goal of the match. And it's Kabinski. To O'Brien. Sending this forward, now Lancers with an opportunity. It's O'Brien inside the box, the shot off the hands of here. Hans Martin here, standing on his head here throughout the first half for Dover-Sherborn. Without a doubt, their star of the game so far. Romario to Houlihan, back to Harrison, sends this one on towards net. And a whistle blown for offside. 37th minute now, still 1-0 Lancers. It'll be Mugstadt to kick this one. Deep in their defensive end. It'll be Dalton for substitution, just a minute for Edward Abizet. Hans Martin here. I mean, there's not enough to say about this kid so far in the first half. 3 huge saves and a foul called against the Lancers. 3 huge saves here in the first half to keep this one at 1-0 with the Lancers leading. The lone goal off of an Edward Abizet throw, in which Dover-Sherborn sent into the back of their own net. This one headed on up. Much has this one outside the 18. Looks to play towards the middle. This one played back to Alexander. He'll take it up. 38th minute, the Lancers still leading this 1-0 as we're streaking towards the half here on LSN. This one taken away, and it's Beninati, whose name we haven't said a lot here in the later parts of the first half, was involved in the big offensive spark early on in the first half for Dover-Sherborn, but he's kind of been neutralized as of late. This one played on the far side, it's Caldecott. Giving this one away to Abizet, who plays to Kabinski. Back to Chu, who plays this one downfield. Abizet trying to get around his man, but it's John Mugstadt who gets it. And here in the 39th minute now, looking to add about a minute of stoppage time at the end of this one. The Lancers leading this 1-0. And you see that far side packed with Lancer faithful. And a big throw-in opportunity. It's Chu throwing this one on to Dalton. It's taken by Harrison. Looks to play it over to the near side. He does. It's Houlihan who has it. Able to juke out his defender. Sends this one on towards net. Just above the net. The Lancers' 10th shot of the first half. They lead in that category 10-3. Only one shot for Dover-Sherborn here in about the last 30 minutes of the first half. And it's really been that Lancer offense, the attack that leads the TVL in scoring, has done such a fantastic job all season long in creating opportunities, creating chances, and they've created enough chances to be up 4-0 in this one. But it's Hans Martin here, keeping this one at 1-0 with save after save here in the first half. In the 40th minute now, the Lancers leading this one 1-0. And a free kick for the Lancers. A foul called against Dover-Sherborn. Will O'Brien got tripped up, and a free kick just outside the 18 in the waning minutes of the first half. So Eric Green will call a timeout with the Lancers, looking for an opportunity to make this 2-0. So we're here at Norton Field in Wheaton College, here for round 1 of the MIAA D3 South Tournament. Stay with us. Hello, folks. Welcome back to our broadcast of the MIAA D3 South Soccer Tournament. First round action as the Lancers will take on the Dover-Sherborn Raiders, leading 1-0 in what looks to be the final play of the first half. They'll pull up Derek Alexander from the 6-yard box, and he'll play looked to be playing some offense for the Lancers, but will retreat back to his own net. As a free kick with what looks to be about 20 seconds left before the whistle to end the first half.
Hey, stop!
The Lancers with some numbers inside the box.
Stop! Right, stop!
7 inside the box for the Lancers. Houlihan just outside the 18th is that 7-man.
Hey, Chris! Chris, move in! Chris! Get in!
The ref walking off the distance to make sure Dover-Sherborn is far enough, and he'll move him back just a few feet. The last time the Lancers had a free kick in the playoffs was last year against Sandwich, and maybe one of the craziest things we've ever seen here on LSN, a free kick goal off of a trick play. Kicked it before everyone was set as this one sent on towards net, headed in front. It's Colton Hughes with maybe a fantastic opportunity in front, but it didn't work. And this one sent out by a horde of Dover-Sherborn defenders. The Lancers waiting for this first half to end, sent on towards net, headed out by Muckstadt. And it's Harrison trying to send this one on towards net in the waning seconds. It's Houlihan, the shot just over the bar. And the Lancers' 11th shot of the first half over the bar, and Muckstadt will send this forward. And that will end the first half. Ref blows his whistle, and that's where we stand. Ellis into the half coming up next, and an exciting first half here from Norton Field as the Lancers lead this one 1-0. Stay with us. Ellis into the half coming up next. Hello, folks. Welcome inside Ellis into the half. I'm Javik Blake. The Lancers leading the Raiders by a 1-0 score here at Wheaton College as the Lancers with 11 shots and 6 of them on net, 5 of them saved away by Hans Martin here, who has saved a plethora of fantastic Lancer chances, including a fantastic chance from DJ Eno and 2 fantastic chances, one off an own blunder in which he passed the ball right to Edward Abuza, but he's able to dive back across his 6-yard box and save it and keep this at a 1-0 scoreline. The Dover-Sherborn Raiders, on the other hand, they only have 3 shots, 2 of them on net. The only 2 on net have come during a 5-minute span during the early going, from the 5th minute to the 10th minute, in which they had a plethora of opportunities and a fantastic chance. A header that went by Derek Alexander into the back of the net, which looked they would have taken a early 1-0 lead, which is fantastic if since they're trying to get the upset bid. However, it was offsides was called, and it was called back, and this one stayed at 0-0 until the 16th minute. Edward Abizin scoring a goal off a throw-in from the far side, from the near side, getting it inside the back of the net to put the Lancers up 1-0. John Muckstadt on the back end for Dover-Sherborn, really playing a great game, able to clear away many Norton opportunities, but one of the things the Lancers offense has done well is neutralizing him on plays to the outside of the field and going back towards the middle with crosses and clearances towards the middle of the field. And the Lancers able to take a 1-0 lead. So we'll be back with the second half. Stay with us. This is LSN Soccer. Hello, folks. Welcome to the second half here on LSN's coverage of Norton High School soccer. Lancers and Raiders getting ready to do action here for another 40 minutes. Dover-Sherborn still looking for that equalizer. Ref blows his whistle, and we'll get ready to go here in the second half. The Lancers will be going left to right. Dover-Sherborn will be going right to left on your screen as we get things underway here in the second half. This one sent downfield. It's Chew. Fighting with Liam Walsh for the ball, who sends this one on towards the 18, but headed out. And Walsh was able to play it. Jamario Harrison taking this one past midfield. Looking to send it to Eno, but Eno didn't know it was coming, and Muckstadt was able to take it away. Dalton to Kabinski. Plays to Houlihan. It's going over the touchline, and it'll be James Hackney, the senior. He scored a goal 2 games ago for Dover-Sherborn against Bellingham. Trying to find an equalizer here today. Here in the 42nd minute, the Lancers leading this one 1-0. This one's just outside the 18. Dover-Sherborn has it, tries to play it on towards net. and just missed kicking that one. A little bit of a miss hit as Dover-Sherborn sends that one right into the hands of Derek Alexander. It's Harrison playing this one to Kabinski. To Dalton, sends this downfield. Dina will chase after it. To Muckstad as takes it and sends it over the line for Dover-Sherborn, and the Lancers will concede a goal kick to Dover-Sherborn here in the 42nd minute. Besides that 1 5-minute stretch for Dover-Sherborn, it's really been a bend but don't break type of defense. They've allowed a plethora of opportunities to the Lancers, but the Lancers have only been able to convert on one. And that was a goal which Dover-Sherborn put in the back of their own net. Credit to Edward Abuzed, but off the throw-in of his from the near side was headed into the back of his own net. And now a throw-in for Elliot Conlow on the near side. In the 43rd minute, Lancers trying to get their 14th win of the season and first win in the postseason since 2015. It's Will O'Brien to Harrison. Look to play it back to O'Brien towards the middle of the field, but it's taken away by Spencer Robbins. This one played downfield. Houlihan. This one sent forward by Dover-Sherborn. And offside is the call. For Dover-Sherborn, kind of a down year for them, finishing third in the TVL in their first year since 2015, same as the Lancers, without a TVL victory. They had won 2 straight in the TVL small, the Lancers winning 2 straight in the TVL large, but Medway breaking that streak and becoming the first team not named Norton or Dover-Sherborn to win the league title since 2015. Harrison plays this one to O'Brien, gets around a defender, now will play it with Muckstad, who clears it out. And a substitution here for the Lancers. Edward Abuzet will come in to throw this one. And Harrison will come off here for Abuzet. In the 45th minute, the Lancers lead this one 1-0. This one thrown in towards net. And taken out by the Lancers. Dover-Sherborn with a clearing opportunity. Abuzet playing this one on the far side with Hackney. Abuzet will have another throw-in opportunity here. Last one cleared out by Dover-Sherborn. This one thrown in towards net inside the 6. But a foul will called on Dover-Sherborn. Here in the 46th minute, the Lancers still leading this one 1-0. Robbins plays this one back to Conlow. As Muckstad sends this forward. Robin trying to get it. And now it's Kavinsky trying to get after it. Able to play it forward for the Lancers with some fantastic defensive play. And Mario Harrison coming in for the Lancers, substituting for Edward Abuzet. Harrison, we've seen his dribbling ability all night tonight, as he's done a fantastic job getting those opportunities in deep for the Lancers as he's in on the forward line with Will O'Brien, and a foul will called on Jack O'Brien. Robbins falling to the turf. The senior for Dover-Sherborn, but it's Muckstad. Go from the smallest player in Dover-Sherborn getting the foul called on him. drawing the foul. Then you go to the largest player in the Dover-Sherborn roster, John Muckstad, to kick this one. Sends this one in towards the box. Headed on in. Actually missing everybody and right into the hands of Derek Alexander.
Let's go, White.
The 5th shot of the night for Dover-Sherborn, the 4th on target. This one headed forward. And it's Eno playing into Harrison on the far side. And this one will go over the line. The Lancers will concede yet another goal kick. And it's John Muckstad doing a fantastic job on that back line for Dover-Sherborn all night tonight. Taking away many Lancer opportunities as this one sent on forward from Harrison. Eno turns and looks to find somebody. And a foul called against Dover-Sherborn. Just outside the 18. And the Lancers will have another free kick. Dover-Sherborn head coach John Grushik not too happy about that call. Brought his team to the South Sectional Finals last year, and since 2015 has done a fantastic job manning this team. 45, 15, and 16 over this 4-year span. The Lancers with a free kick opportunity in the 48th minute. Dover-Sherborn, their wall being backed up just a bit. Lancers were trying for the quick restart off the free kick.
DJ, go in. DJ, go in.
We saw this against Sandwich.
Don't get offside. DJ, go to the goal. Don't get offside.
And Eric Green shouting instructions to DJ Eno as he charges in towards net. This one sent on off of the face of Spencer Robbins and sent out by Dover-Sherborn. And he'll take it again off the face and over the line. It's Chu throwing this one in. It'll be James Hackney taking this one away and out of counterattack for Dover-Sherborn. Taken away by Pescod. Plays it over to Harrison on the outside. Looks to play it into Eno, but this one's taken away by Muckstad. The Lancers here in the 50th minute, clinging to a 1-0 lead. Dover-Sherborn hasn't had a whole lot of opportunities here in the second half. It's been very even as Declan Diesel standing on the near side for the Lancers. As it's Harrison playing this one forward, looking to send it to Eno, but just outside of his run. And it's picked up by Hans Martin here. Sends this one on towards midfield. Lancers leading 1-0. That lone goal coming from Edward Abuzed back in the 16th minute. And that's where we stand. Ryan Collins giving that one away to the Lancers, now sent over to Harrison. Playing this one downfield to Houlihan, who tried to play it. Tried to play to Will O'Brien, but it's going to be Edward Abuzed coming in as a Lancer throw. From just outside the 18, coming on for Harrison. The Lancers without a shot here in the second half, 11 minutes into it, here in the 51st minute. Norton Field ready to erupt with a throw-in from the far side, thrown in on towards net. Kept in play by the Lancers, but kicked out by John Muckstad. Obviously plays this one back and out of play over the touchline, and Dover-Sherborn to throw this one in. The Raiders losing that 50-50 battle, and Chu sends this one out of play. And over the touchline for Dover-Sherborn throw. It'll be Elliot Conlow to throw this one in. DiGino taking that one away for the Lancers, and once again kicked out by Nick Chu, clearing another opportunity. It's Elliot Conlow, the junior, throwing this one in for Dover-Sherborn. It's Collins playing this one in towards the box and picked up easily yet again by Derek Alexander. And one of the things the Lancer defense has been able to do all night long on that back line, which last time they played against Dover-Sherborn, got a whole lot of praise for the way they kept Dover-Sherborn outside of the box and really not letting them get any opportunities inside of the 18. They're doing the same thing here tonight. This one played in the inside by Houlihan. Looking to spin around, and inside the 18 he brings it. Houlihan sending this one up to the other side of the 18, but it's here grabbing it and rolls it out. It's Liam Walsh. Runs into Dalton, and Dalton will take it the other way. Plays it downfield, DiGino chasing after this, and it's played out. Off the foot of DiGino, and it'll be a Dover-Sherborn throw. 53rd minute, Lancers leading 1-0. And Dover-Sherborn has yet to find a goal in their last 2 away games, and including tonight. So the last 2.5 games, Dover-Sherborn has not scored a goal away from home. Looking to find one. That one would be a pretty big one. Would tie this up as they try to break the streak of 3 straight losses to the Lancers in the postseason. Lost back in 13, lost back in 14 and 15 as well. That's Skabinski sending this one on forward. The shot from outside the 18, picked up by here. The Lancers' first shot of the second half is on target. It's Hans Martin here. Will kick this one towards midfield in the 54th minute. It's Liam Walsh. Gives this one up. It's intercepted by O'Brien. Houlihan right near midfield has it to O'Brien. Back to Houlihan. Sends this to Will O'Brien. Plays it to Dalton. Has Chu on the near side. Can't get it to him. It's intercepted as Liam Walsh grabs it and goes the other way with it. A 3-on-3 rush. Trying to get it inside the 18, but it's Dalton coming from his backside. Able to grab it, but it's taken away by Conlow. Plays it forward. Now an opportunity outside the 18. Inside the box. But the Lancers able to kick that one out towards midfield. And that back line once again keeping Dover-Sherborn out. "15 minutes into the second half. Lancers still leading 1-0 as that shot from way out over the net and off the netting. Some substitutes here as it's Maximo, Lockhart, Craner, and Christopher Much coming in for Dover-Sherborn. For James Hackney and Sal Bram as DiGino comes off for Declan Diestel. The junior, 2 goals in the season. Seeing his first action in the playoffs in his career. Handball called on Dover-Sherborn, so Lancer free kick from just inside their attacking half. The Lancers will stack the far side of the field as Sullivan to kick this one in. Sullivan throws this one on towards net. In front, headed right back inside the 6. But it's here, is able to grab it. Griffin Windle, the senior, warming up on the sidelines for Dover-Sherborn. Got to think he'll come in at the next whistle. It's Pescott playing that one up for the Lancers. Chasing after it is Diestel. It's Dover-Sherborn. Brings this one up on the near side, sends this one inside the box. It's taken away, and now an opportunity for Dover-Sherborn inside the 18, looking for a crossing opportunity, placing it in front. But Brian Sullivan's able to kick that one out, and Nick Chu clears it back towards midfield. It's O'Brien. Playing this to Deastel. Looking to get it back to O'Brien. He does on the near side. Looking for a cross. One-touch opportunity. Plays it on the cross inside the 6 in front of it. And Declan Deastel called for the foul on the play. It's Alex Turcotte looking to come in on the substitution for the Lancers. And a fantastic play there from Declan Deastel, able to get the ball inside the 18. Just call for the foul, negating any Lancer opportunity. It's Pescott sending that one out of play. And it's Griffin Windle coming in for Dover-Sherborn. He'll be relieving Liam Walsh, and it's Declan Deastel coming out for Alex Turcotte. The Lancers with hanging 4 back on defense. As their midfielders able to take this one away. It's O'Brien. Has it towards midfield. It's that Lancer midfield. He's really been the scoring threat all season long, as he's almost able to bring it up through every single Dover-Sherborn player, but he's tripping over the ball there as Collins plays this one towards midfield. Trying to get it to the Windle on the near side. Windle isn't able to get it around as Collins has it. Plays it inside the box. The Lancers will send it away once again. It's Turcotte playing this one off the foot of Elliot Conlow, and it'll be a Lancer throw. It's O'Brien controlling this for the Lancers. Chu has it for the Lancers. Plays Duabuzet. Dover-Sherborn controlling this one on the far end. Now it's taken away. It's O'Brien with a one-touch move on the near side, trying to get it through it with a cross in front, but Muckstad's there. Abuzet in front. And a fantastic opportunity and a fantastic shot from Andrew Dalton just goes over the crossbar. And we stay at 1-0. It's Glenn Caldecott coming in for Dover-Sherborn. Andrew Dalton coming off for the Lancers after they have a fantastic shot here in the 60th minute. We've seen 2 fantastic chances for the Lancers. Eugenio tried with a bicycle kick, then a spider kick there by Andrew Dalton. Well, this one stays at 1-0. Lancers only with 2 shots so far in the half. 1 on target. As we streak towards the final quarter of this one. It's Nick Chu playing it back to Pescott. To Houlihan on the far side. To Harrison. Back to Houlihan. Looks to bring it up. Splits the defenders inside the box. Looking for the shot in front. Just by the goal mouth. Audible oohs and ahs for the Lancer faithful on the far side. A fantastic opportunity. Houlihan split 3 different defenders for Dover-Sherborn, able to dribble by all of them and get it right in front of the net with the off-footed opportunity. This one sent down to Much. Dover-Sherborn still trying to find that equalizer. Only 3 goals on the season so far, trying to look for number 31 to tie this one up. This one played on the far side. Sullivan pushed down, and a foul called against Dover-Sherborn. Sullivan pushed down on the far side. And it'll be James Shue to come in for Dover-Sherborn, the substitution on the near side. It'll be him and Sal Bram coming into the next whistle. Sullivan plays this one forward. Dover-Sherborn able to play it back, but Sullivan's there to clear it out for the Lancers. And joining Bram and Shue on the sidelines is James Hackney, the senior as well, coming in at the next whistle for a substitution. And it's George Benanini, who's the key to this attack early in the first half. That's Glenn Caldecott standing all alone on the near side. They'll look to get it to him, but a bad pass makes Elliot Conlow retreat. It'll play it back to Benanini. Sends this one on towards net in front, just outside the 18, as Sullivan able to break it out for the Lancers. They'll go the other way now. Past midfield, plays it forward, trying to get it to his forwards, and it's just outside the reach. That one just outside the reach of Will O'Brien. It'll be John Muckstad with the kick. Here in the 63rd minute, the Lancers clinging to a 1-0 lead. Though their defense has been playing solid all night long. Only 5 shots so far for Dover-Sherborn, 2 of which came in the first half, 3 here early in the second. It's Shue grabbing this one, looking to turn and fire it downfield, and he does. And make that 4 substitutions now coming on at the next whistle. Liam Walsh joining the crew as well. So 4 substitutions coming on. It's James Shue, Liam Walsh, James Hackney, and Sal Brame all coming in for the Dover-Sherborn Raiders. This one thrown forward for Dover-Sherborn, but taken away by Nick Shue. Plays it back. This one sent down forward just outside the reach of Alex Turcotte, and Dover-Sherborn will throw this one. Still looking for that equalizer and looking to tie this one up, and if they can, send this to overtime. Lancers looking to get 2 games over 500 in first-round matchups since 2006. The overall playoff record, however, stands at 16-9 coming into today. Looking for win number 17 on the other side of things. Dover-Sherborn 22-10. Their all-time playoff record since 2006 has won 2 state championships back in 1992 and 2010, as this one kicked out by Ben Pescott, and a throw-in on the near side from just about where Edward Abizad scored his first and only goal of the match so far for the Lancers. Liam Walsh to do the honors. Throws it inside towards the 18. Harrison converging there to get it out for the Lancers. Now they'll look for a counterattack. It's Abuzet dribbling it back into his own zone. Plays it to Shue. Sends it on forward to Romario Harrison. He's able to bring it forward to O'Brien. Has some options. And that one just over the line. And the Lancers will turn it over on what looks like a great attacking opportunity. That one just going over the touchline. Just that white or blue line you see on your screen on the near side, is that one will be a foul on Dover-Sherborn, and now a free kick for the Lancers. It'll be Dalton and Eno coming in for the Lancers. The next substitution opportunities. It's Brian Sullivan to kick the free kick here in the 66th minute. Sends this one downfield. Kicked up in the air by Dover-Sherborn is John Muckstad. Looking to kick it out, and he does, and now a throw-in. Edward Abuzet will have the throw. Here in the 66th minute. Here in the first half on the other side of the field. His lone goal coming on a throw-in from just about that area. It's Abuzet throwing this one in towards the box. The Lancers with an opportunity in front. It's Harrison chasing after that one, but it's cleared out by Dover-Sherborn. DS looking to play this one up, but it's taken away by Kyle Houlihan and the Lancers. He'll take this back towards midfield, stringing out the entire Dover-Sherborn defense and giving an opportunity for Derek Alexander to kick this one back towards midfield. The Lancers wasting a little bit more time here as we get to the later stages of this one. It'll be Houlihan with it on the far side. Throwing this one on forward to the Lancers. It's O'Brien trying to head it in, but went over the touchline there. And a quick restart from Dover-Sherborn. Here in the 68th of 80 minutes. Still down by 1 is Dover-Sherborn, but the Lancers trying to increase their lead, but it's taken away. And now a counterattack opportunity for Diaz. Some fancy footwork for Benanani. Plays it over to Conwell. Harrison able to pickpocket him, and the Lancers have a chance to kill some more clock. It's O'Brien bringing this one up. As Mugsnap picking that one up, and Dover-Sherborn with a throw-in in the 68th of 80 minutes, looking for an equalizer, still hunting for that equalizer. They haven't scored a goal in 4 of their last 5 matches. They'd love to not have that stretch to 5 of their last 6. It's Collins playing this one downfield. Sent back to Collins. Mencino with it for the Lancers. Plays it over to Sullivan. And a foul called on Collins. The Lancers with a free kick. Here 11 minutes away from a playoff victory. Their first since the 2015 title game. The winner facing Medway Bishop Stang, which is tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern Time at Medway High School. As it's O'Brien fighting for this one, but it's Benanini playing this one forward. The offense going through Benanini in the early going, and it looks to be the same thing here in the second half, but it's Houlihan playing this one forward. Trying to get through 4 defenders on the Dover-Sherborn side, but he's not able to do it, and Dover-Sherborn has an opportunity going the other way. It's Seal bringing this one forward with the Lancers having the numbers on the back end, switching with 5 on that backside now, and substitutions coming on, including Andrew Kabinski. And Kabinski coming on, Edward Abuzed coming off for the Lancers. Now with 5 on that back end. Switching to more of a 1-3-5 formation here in the later stages of this one. My apologies, a 1-4-5 formation in the later stages of this one. But now a corner kick, the 3rd of the night for Diaz. Haven't been able to convert in their first 2. It'll be number 3, Christopher Much, the junior, to do the honors on the far side. 7 men inside the 18-yard box for Dover-Sherborn. Much raises his arm, sends this one on towards the box. Alexander able to punch this one up, and it's sent out by the Lancers, and Harrison's able to clear it out. The Lancers breathing a sigh of relief for just a moment. Now it's going to go the other way. It's Dalton chasing this one down for the Lancers. And they'll play it all the way back to here in the 71st of 80 minutes. About 9 to go plus stoppage time from Norton Field here at Wheaton College. Here able to grab this inside his own 18-yard box. And he'll throw this one out. Derek Alexander looking for his 7th shutout of the season. Dover-Sherborn looking to break their streak of 3 straight losses against the Lancers in the playoffs. As Sullivan taken down, and a foul called. The Lancers will have a free kick. 72nd minute now. Sullivan plays this one on towards midfield. As it's Chu who has this. Plays this one downfield, but it'll be taken away by Spencer Robbins. O'Brien coming forward, but it's here who has it. Inside his own 6-yard box. And it's Houlihan. Playing this one on the backside. It's Muckstadt playing now a forward roll. The only goal tonight in the 16th minute, with Edward Abusen scoring the lone goal for the Lancers off a throw-in from the near side. Still a 1-0 scoreline in the late stages of this one. It'll be Sal Bram to throw this one in, to kick this one from the far side. With a score 1-0, the Lancers trying to get their first playoff victory once again since 2015. This one sent in on towards the box. Headed back out by Dover-Sherborn. They're trying to play it inside the box. Doesn't work. And now the Lancers will clear this one all the way over the midfield line. And Dover-Sherborn will try and get it back in there once again. 73rd minute. Dover-Sherborn still trying to find an equalizer, and it's been late goals that have been the cause of the Lancers' loss their last 2 years. A late goal in the final 10 minutes of action against Martha's Vineyard in 2016, and again in 2017, a double overtime loss against Sandwich. Sent them home packing in double overtime last season as well. But the Lancers just have to hold on for 6 more minutes, and they'll be able to come home with a victory in this one. Eno plays this one forward. Sent back to here. Inside his own 6, Kabinski coming after that one. As Houlihan sends this one on towards net from just inside the midfield line. This one sent down to Kabinski to Eno on the near side. Able to get by a defender, has it just outside the 18, looking for an opportunity now. He'll dribble it out, and they'll look to waste a little bit of more time. This one sent in on net towards here, and he's able to catch it. The Lancers' 15th shot of the afternoon. Houlihan playing this one back towards the Lancer end. You can sense the urgency in the offense for Dover-Sherborn in the late stages. A team that hasn't scored a whole lot of goals in the recent games. A team that scoring has really been a problem all season long. It's been their defense that has been fantastic, but their offense leaves a whole lot to be desired, but you can sense the urgency here late. They just need 1 goal to tie this one up. Here in the late stage of this one, 75, 80 minutes. This one sent downfield. It's Eno with an opportunity, but he just overruns the ball. And this one's sent back. It's O'Brien playing this one downfield, and it'll find its way all the way back to Hans Martin here. The savior of this game for DS, if they're able to tie this one up. Saved 3 straight opportunities near the end of the first half for Dover-Sherborn to keep this at a 1-0 match, as this one sent back to Sullivan, who sends it to Alexander, who plays it forward back towards midfield. And it'll be Romario Harrison looking to take this one with some fancy dribbling right near midfield, able to kill some more time off the clock. They play to Dalton. Play downfield, and this one's sent up towards midfield and out of play and over the line. And Romario Harrison will come off for Edward Abuzet at the lane. Still have a throw, and it's Collins coming in for Dover-Sherborn. 76th minute now. About 4 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Edward Abuzet looking to chuck this one down towards the Lancer attacking zone, and it'll send this all the way downfield to here. And it's picked up. It'll be Perez Verzani sending this one forward. Sullivan playing this back. Abuzet trying to get around a defender, And a foul will call, and the Lancers will get a free kick. In the 77th minute, the Lancers are looking to waste more time, and they'll get the perfect opportunity to do so. A free kick from just inside the midfield line.
You didn't call it goal. You call it push there, and you call it push 70 miles away.
Remember, folks, coming up next, we'll have an interview with the Lancer head coach, Eric Green, as well as the LSN post-match report. This one sent in towards net and over everybody and out of play. Just missing wide of the goal on the far side as Sear plays this one towards midfield. Dalton playing his man on the near side. This one sent towards midfield. Sullivan able to play it back. The lone goal tonight scored by Edward Abuzet in the 16th minute. His first playoff goal in his first playoff match was held out of last year's match against Sandwich with a knee injury. But he's played a big role tonight, scoring his second goal of the season. Alec Weeman looking to come in for the Norton Lancers, the senior. Here in the 78th minute, the Lancers was able to send this one all the way downfield towards Hans Martin here. This one played towards midfield. This one sent downfield once again, and the Lancers will waste even more time off the clock. Heading towards the 79th minute, the Lancers still with a 1-0 lead. The winner of this to play the winner of Medway Bishop Staying, a game that kicks off tonight at 6 o'clock in Medway. As Kyle Houlihan going to kick that one, Eric Green screaming no Hooli no from his near side position on the sidelines as it's O'Brien to send this one on towards net, looking for Abuzet in front of the net, but kept out by Dover-Sherborn. Here in the 79th of 80 minutes, plus some stoppage time here for the Lancers. It's Eno with a back heel towards midfield, but it's Collins who takes that away. With Muckstadt, the senior, which has anchored that back line for Dover-Sherborn all year long. They're just trying to get one more opportunity, but the Lancers won't give it to him as this one's downfield. It's Edward Abuzet with an opportunity. Trying to get it around a defender. Kicks it on the far side. And he'll kick it all the way downfield and over the touchline. As it'll be a throw-in with Muckstadt to throw it in. Diaz still looking for the equalize. They've been looking for it ever since the 16th minute. As we're now in the 80th minute of action. Alec Weeman coming on for the Lancers, the senior. Coming on for Edward Abuzet and the Lancers, counting down the seconds until what looks like their first playoff victory since 2015. The Lancers faithful, ready to erupt on the far side. This one taken the other way, it's Benanini. Playing this one downfield with an opportunity, but it's Kyle Houlihan with a bicycle kick to kick this one out. And it'll go over the touchline. And the ref blows his whistle, and the Lancers are moving on to the second round of the MIAA D3 South Tournament. A 1-0 victory over Dover-Sherborn. And they beat them for the second time this season. (1-0) the final scoreline from here at Norton Field in Wheaton College. The LSN post-match report coming up next, including an interview with Lancer head coach Eric Green as the Lancers advance to face the winner of Medway Bishop Staying as they advance past the first round for the first time since 2015. Stick with us, folks. The LSN post-match report coming up next. Hello, folks. Welcome inside the LSN post-match report. We're here with Coach Green and his daughter. Coach, you'd lost the last 2 years. Coming into tonight, trying to get that monkey off your back. How does it feel to finally win a playoff game for the first time since 2015?
It feels great. We talked about that. You can't get rid of history. We all know that we haven't won a playoff game in a long time, and just to get this first one is really important, really special for us. Really try to get some momentum off this now.
And a new playing surface for you guys. You hadn't played on this field, an actual game on this field all season long. How did that kind of change up the game plan coming in today, playing on turf rather than grass?
Well, I think one of the best things about our team is how well we adapt to every different situation. You know, and we know our game field has turf, doesn't have turf, has grass, but a lot of these teams have turf. So, and I think we do really, really well on turf as well. So to come out here and make the adjustments out here, I think that's one of the best things of our team.
And really, one of the big things in the second half was limiting the chances of Dover-Sherborn, and that meant getting a lot of those 50-50 opportunities. How did getting that help create the win for the Lancers?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they have some outstanding shooters on this team. They're very physical. They have they win a lot of 50-50 balls. Good luck. See you later. Thanks a lot, man. I'll see you. They win a lot of 50-50 balls, and I think they did a great job of that in the first half. And our boys needed to respond if we were going to, protect our lead. And I think in the second half we went out and we were winning more of the 50-50 balls. And that really makes the difference between every single game, certainly this game, certainly the games in the future.
And it was really the offensive attack that did a great chances all afternoon for the Lancers. It started off in the early going. You guys, it was more Dover-Sherborn having the one, but you guys grabbed it right back. How did that factor into the win?
Yeah, I mean, I think our offense has, throughout the entire year, found a way to score goals, find a way to win, find a way to press. And they're a bunch of hard workers. And again, when the game plan doesn't go quite as we wanted it to or designed it to, they find a way to adjust. And again, that's what it's been all year long. Just find ways to score, whether set pieces, dynamic play, throw-ins, whatever. And they did that today.
Now, looking towards your next game, it looks like you'll probably be playing Medway, a team that you've already faced twice this year, and a team that's given you a pretty good run for your money in both of those games. How do you match up against them?
I think we match up very well. We're the only team in the TVL that's beat them this year. We feel very, very confident. I think we played a great game on turf. This is our second back-to-back game that we played great on turf. We're going in there. We're used to playing them in Medway, and I'm really looking forward to that challenge.
All right, thank you so much, Coach. Best of luck in your next match, and we'll bring back with more of the Ellison Post-Match Report right after this. Hello, folks. Welcome into the post-match report from here at Norton Field at Wheaton College. I'm Jivik Blake. The Lancers taking down the number 12 seeded Dover-Sherborn Raiders, winning by a 1-0 scoreline with Edward Abuzet scoring the lone goal of the afternoon. A first goal of the Lancers, his first playoff goal in his first playoff match. Edward Abuzet scored in the 16th minute to put the Lancers up 1-0, and they were really able to shut down the offensive attack of Dover-Sherborn all night long. They had some fantastic opportunities the Lancers had towards the end of the first half, but Hans Martin here was able to save all of them away, and in the second half, the Lancers really just focused more on the defensive side of things. Very tactical, very much winning a lot of the 50-50 balls and keeping Dover-Sherborn outside of that 18-yard box, and the Lancers come out with the victory. The final stats here tonight, the Lancers with 16 shots, 8 of them on net. For Dover-Sherborn, 7 shots with 6 of them on net. The Lancers led in corners 4-3, but the real big player of the game for the Lancers had to be Edward Abuzet. Wasn't able to play in the game against Sandwich last season in the playoffs, was held out with a knee injury, but today comes in, scores a goal, his very first playoff goal to put the Lancers up 1-0, and really showed throughout the entire match just throwing prowess on the near and far side. On almost from any distance, he was able to throw it inside the 6-yard box, put pressure on the back line and on Hans Martin here for Dover-Sherborn, and the Lancers able to come late with a 1-0 victory. So they'll look towards their next game, which looks to be not to make predictions, but it'll be against the winner of the number 13 seed Bishop Stang and the number 4 seed Medway Mustangs. It looks like it'll be the Lancers and Mustangs probably on Tuesday night, but we'll get you more updates. Please check our Twitter feed at LSN_Norton for updates on when that next match will be. So for everyone here at LSN, I'm Javik Blake. Thank you for joining us today. The Lancers taking down the Dover-Sherborn Raiders, winning their first playoff match since 2015 and moving into the second round of the MIAA D3 South tournament with a 1-0 victory.